Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Afternoon Market Action, a.k.a. Western Wednesday. Howdy, y'all. There's a new sheriff in town. We're going to kick it off. We've got a wild ride in the market today. Just not a pretty sight, If you can hear me, by all means, please respond in the chat, preferably with VV Nation, and let me know that I am coming across loud and clear. All right, make sure that everything is working. That's right. Mark says, partner. That's right. Howdy, partner. Howdy, miss. Nice, what is it? Nice to meet your acquaintance. I don't know. I can't get all that southern cowboyish. Sounds right nice. I can say that. Sounds right nice. I'm waiting for more people to come in, waiting for the alert to hit. Before we get started, actually, how many of you follow me on Instagram or on Facebook? I did a short on my way to work today while in my car, which was kind of cool. And then I ran over something. I got a flat tire. I got a flat tire. I ran over a big old piece of metal sticking out of my tire, and I got a flat tire. Son of a gun. So I got to go get that taken care of today. Right after the live stream. Found out that my AAA was not active, so I had to reactivate it, and they're going to come tow me, and got to spend $250 on a tire. $250 on a tire. Something Ramon says, try a horse. Ride a horse, save a cowboy. Something isn't that the song? That's not a good song. That's not a good family-friendly song. That's not a family-friendly song, is it, Joey? Sigh. It is only flat on one side, Daniel. That's absolutely for sure. But a big old piece of metal. I'm probably going to put it on my Facebook. I'll probably put it on Instagram too to show what's sticking out of my tire. If you rode a horse, you wouldn't have that problem. That's true, Greg. That's true. But you know something? I may be setting up for Western Wednesday, but I've got to tell you something. It's a secret. Shh, don't tell nobody. I've never ridden a horse. Never. All right, I got something about me and a horse in my man parts. I'm just afraid to ride a horse. That's the problem. So I haven't ridden a horse. Krishna says, "Shall we buy tech stock?" Do you feel like you really want to buy tech stocks right now, Krishna? We'll talk about that. You want to talk about tech stocks? We'll take a look at them. Did you get the delivery yesterday asking for a friend? Mark, not as of yet. Greg says, you're missing out on riding a horse. I've never ridden a horse. All right. So I'm sure that you didn't want to hear me talk about me getting a flat tire. So we're going to get into what's going on in the market. First thing I'm looking at when I'm looking at the color guard, all three colors being represented, this is telling me the market's having a hard time really gaining momentum in one direction or another. But the primary color you see is yellow. All of this means is to be cautious right now. So the whole thing I say out of this is not to panic. That was the title for today. Don't panic, do this. And the do this part is to manage the trades that you're in. Don't get despondent if your stocks are going down, all right? That's what you got stops for, all right? And if you're not getting out of them as fast as you think you should be getting out of them, then change the stops, tighten the stops. This is a good time to tighten stops. I'm looking at a couple of stocks that I own. They're getting hit. But I'm hedging them with contras. I've got a nice little order in or amount of shares of SQQQ. What that allows me to do is SQQ is going up in price. The stocks that I have in my portfolio that are going down in price, they're hedged a little bit. All right, so there's a couple of stocks that I'm just not getting rid of. There's and XROF is one of them. I'm not getting rid of them. All right, I got a lot of time, I got a lot of money, and I'm still up in excess of 90% on my XROF trade. So right now, the pullback on XROF is being adjusted by my amount of shares that I have in SQQQ. I did pick up a little bit of gold. I've got a gold ETF that I'm going to talk about today. It's called SGOL. It actually tracks physical gold, all right, as opposed to tracking the miners or all the other gold stocks. I'm tracking the actual price of gold, SGOL. I picked up that as well, along with my SQQQ. So what I'm doing is I'm not panicking in regards to the stocks that are going down in price, I am hedging them. All right, we got 169 people in here. I'm trying to push us to get to 300 people. There's a lot of people out there who need to know what they need to do in the market. And this is why I ask you guys over and over to share the content, to share the live link. Joey's going to put it out there. All right, Joey's going to put out the live link for you. I want you to share the link with people in your social circles. There's a lot of people who are getting down in the dumps because they don't know what's going on. We want to be your trusted site in regards to how to navigate any market, no matter what the market is doing. We want you to be confident in your ability to handle and navigate the market. That's why we do the work and you reap the rewards, okay? So Joey put the link already in the chat. Take that link, share it on your social circles, folks. Let's try to get 300 people in here. Once we get to 300 people at some point in time, we're going to push it to 400, to 500, to 600. I think that VectorVest offers a lot of useful information, not just data, to help people to make money in the stock market. Now that Musk has replaced the Twitter logo with Shiba Inu, do we bark instead of tweet? No, but you know what it's doing? It's starting to push a lot of the crypto stocks. I posted on Twitter a couple of days ago, the top 10 crypto stocks, 9 out of the 10 were going up, and Dogecoin was up 35% at the time that I posted that. Again, if you guys don't follow me outside of the YouTube channel, go search for @GlennTompkins Jr. on either Twitter or on Instagram. And I do post a lot of things outside that we don't always talk about, just to keep you guys in the know of what's going on. Judy says, looking at Canadian oil, CVE, BTE, TVE, Gear, Energy. Now, interesting about, I did pick up WTI. I do have an oil play. I'm just waiting to see how wishy-washy OPEC is going to be about the announcement of cutting back to just 1 million barrels a day, which should drive oil prices higher. It should happen. But are they going to go through with it? So we'll see. I'm watching a lot of stuff, what's going on with the U.S. dollar, Saudi Arabia, China, Russia, Iran, all getting on board with trying to push the dollar out as being the fiat currency. At some point in time on YouTube, I may do a video about it, but I want to get all my ducks in a row before I put out a video about the fall, the possible fall of the U.S. dollar globally. Now, I say that because it's news driven by the stories. I just don't know if they have the wherewithal to really push the dollar out of being the fiat currency. Joey, put that up as a poll. How many of you think that the dollar could be pushed out as the fiat currency? Type in, don't type it in. Joey's going to put up a poll. How many of you think that we stand a really good chance of the dollar being pushed out as the fiat currency globally? All right, with everything that's being done to push them out. So Joey's going to put that poll up. Once he does, I want you to answer within that poll, and let me see where your heads are at. Timothy says buy NVIDIA, which is a tech stock, Chevron, which is a oil stock, and Meta, which is also a tech stock. Let's go. I'm writing these down. Chevron is CVX, and Meta is Meta. All right, and I don't know, Goodyear. I'm going to see if I can find that as well. Goodyear. We're going to take a look at some of your stocks. It will take a long time for that to happen. I'm with you on that, Francisco, but I let you know the story so that people know what's going on. All right, what's going on? This is all about preparation. I'm looking at the markets. We have a mixed market. The Dow is the only thing that's up about 0.25%. All of the other major indices are down. Glenn, 42 degrees here in Boston. Let me tell you something. It's going to be almost 90 degrees here in Charlotte. Almost 90 degrees. It's going to go up to 86 degrees. So I'm going to go to the driving range today. Why? Because I put out a video about the 3 major events that were going on this week. One of them is the Masters. I think I'm going to go to the driving range and drive like Tiger does. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going I'm going to hit my driver about 360 yards. I think I'm going to try to take a picture of it. How do we follow you on Twitter? Hernan, look for or go search for at Glenn Tompkins Jr. That's how you follow me on Twitter. All right, so let's get into what's going on in the market. Let's go look at the market timing graph. This is the equity curve of the VectorVest composite. And man, it's not showing a pretty picture over the last 2 days. Big down day yesterday, a little bit of a bearish engulfing. All right, a little bit of a possible hangman right here. So there was two candlestick patterns that kicked off prior to today, right? Not a pristine hanging man, but a hanging man nonetheless. The wick at the bottom is more than twice the body. Yesterday, big down day, a bearish engulfing, and we've got follow through today. So hanging man, not pristine, follow through, bearish engulfing, follow through, but notice that the 3 and the 8 haven't crossed to the downside yet. And number two, I've got a level of support right now of 55.43 on the VectorVest composite. Let's go see if that can hold, but we do have some downside to the 3 month low of about 53.99. What's making all of this happen? All right, so we looked at the home page. We looked at the market timing graph. Let's go take a look at the news that's moving the market. And a lot of it I've got in regards to that is what the Fed chiefs are saying. Cleveland Fed's Mester sees rates above 5% amid too high and too stubborn inflation. Now, as I say that, there's something I want to talk about as well. The jobs report came in today. Less jobs. That is a good sign for the Fed to show that what he's doing is affecting the economy. The economy was already shrinking, but jobs were still strong. If they are starting to get weaker, then what the Fed was trying to do with the raising of the interest rates, knowing that it's a laggard indicator, is starting to come to fruition. That starts to build up more momentum for the Fed to start cutting rates. And a lot of people are saying that it's going to happen within the next 90 days. This is a very important time as we go through the fight to go against inflation. The Fed is still walking this tightrope. I looked at this as never that the Fed was going to cut rates at all this year, but we're getting the signs that as the raising of the interest rates is more of a laggard indicator, that what the Fed is doing is affecting inflation. So we'll have to keep our eyes on that. Fed Williams, magnitude and duration of bank crises impacts uncertain. Now, that's interesting as well. When I put this cup up, it's green, so you won't see it. I'm taking a new medication for my diabetes, and it's got to make sure that I drink a lot of water, but I got a lot of cotton mouth today, even though I took my meds, so that's why I'm drinking my water, just insane a little bit. Glenn, are you a big hitter like Dalai Lama? You have to say, Gunga, Galunga, Gunga. What the flying flip did you just type up in here? Sigh. What did you say? Gunga, Galunga, Gunga, Gunga. Did I just cuss? Oh, Lord. Did I just cuss? I hope I didn't just cuss. Ooh-wee. I hope I didn't cuss. That's from Caddyshack. Oh, all right. I just didn't want to be cussing. All right. I don't want to be pissing off nobody by cussing. All right. So I had the question about, was it the Fed's job to protect the banks or the Fed's job to protect the economy? We put that up as a poll. And the thing is, it was the Fed's job to protect the economy, not the banks. All right. So I'm not sure why he's throwing this in here. It is what it is. Another Fed person. This is the Federal Reserve Bank of Boston president, says that Collins says history shows Fed must stay the course on inflation. So a lot of hawkish talk in regards to the interest rates. The next one won't be until April, which is this month, not until the third week or so. But you can see by way of the Feds, the people that are in the ear of Jerome Powell, there's still a lot of hawkishness, and the Fed will, continue to do what he's doing. Or does he pause? Very interesting. Try act something gum for your, what is it? Act xylitol. Okay. 4-year dry mouth, sir. Thank you. I'll try that. All right. Maria says, "Hey VV Nation, I tried to post a video." Oh yeah, Maria, I looked into that. I'm really working on a video for the Fed now. That's going to start out in July. The central bank direct currency. Very, very interesting topic. I saw a video by a young man, last name Dowd, that did a really good video on the CBDC. I watched that video, very scary video, saying that with all the things that are going on with the banks, that the banks may consolidate all the way down to just 6 banks, and then the man, I don't know. It's a very doom and gloom type of a video. If that's the video you're talking about, Maria, I did see it. And based on that, I'm trying to put together more insight on the central bank direct currency, of which I'm not feeling real comfortable about. All right. I'm really not feeling real comfortable about that whole deal. All right. Here's the jobs. Job openings tumbled below 10 million in February for the first time in nearly 2 years. All right. So that was very interesting. Available positions totaled 9.93 million, a drop of 632,000 from January's downwardly revised number. It's the first time vacancies fell below 10 million. Professional and business services saw a slide of 278,000 job openings. This may be falling right into the hands of the Fed for the purposes of pausing. I don't think he starts cutting yet. I think he's probably, if he does this, it'll be a pause for maybe 2-3 months before he even thinks about cutting interest rates. We'll see. Well, Roger says CBDC is the next step to strip citizens of their privacy and control their money. And as I look more about that whole idea, man, that's why I'm sitting here saying that I don't think that this is a really good thing, but people need to understand why it's not. So hopefully within the next couple of weeks, I will try to put out a video once I get, again, all my ducks in a row before I jump on board. All right. We're sitting at 173 people, folks. I'm trying to get us, if you, well, number one, if you like the commentary, hit the like button. 2, if you're not a subscriber to the channel, hit the subscribe button. But 3, let's share this stuff. All right. We're going to get into some good stuff. We'll help people. Let's go to the next one. Trade deficit hits a 4-month high and signs of stress on the economy. Let's talk about some stocks. Big move today on Nibiru. They got a contract. The DOD has added Nibiru to its indefinite delivery, indefinite quantity contract. That's big for this company. This covers the creation and supply of prototypes and equipment to support solid-state, high-energy laser weapon systems. All right, so this is a big moving stock. We'll take a look at it. FedEx up after dividend hike, cost-saving initiatives, and major reorganization. Apple, big news on Apple is that they're going to start launching out into India. All right. Apple is expanding into India, opening its first retail store in Mumbai. The stock may be setting into second consecutive bull flag pattern on a daily chart. So everybody knows how much I love Apple. WWE is the only one moving up on my list. And that was a story that I did yesterday, right? On the 3 major events. WWE, it was on the Masters, and it was on Artemis 2. I put out a good ETF, a UFO, if you want to play the whole space, the space industry. All right. So with that, let's click on to the next story. COVID. Interesting. My wife is a respiratory therapist, and noticing that a lot of the customers or patients that she have are coming up with COVID. People at her job are getting COVID. COVID looks like it's flexing its ugly head once again. But here's another drug in the COVID space. The drug is IFRX. COVID injection gets US FDA's emergency use authorization, now on path to become either the 4th or the 5th drug that can be used for defeating or fighting COVID. Something to keep in mind, IFRX. It was up 80%, big move. All right. Freight Technologies, FRGT, reports the highest monthly increase in new clients since the platform inception. This gives us more understanding that the world is opening up, a lot of it out of China, and freight is rocking and rolling. But here's a freight stock to keep your eyes on. And last but not least, how many of you are trading gold? Gold poised for a quick 10% rally. Again, I did pick up a gold play, ticker symbol SGOL, which actually tracks the price of gold. So those are my news stories. Let's get into the software. We looked at the market timing graph as to what's going on. And now let's go to the viewers tab. Here's our indices. Look at that. The volatility, the VIX, starting to get back into the fear factor phase. When the VIX, or the volatility on the S&P 500, gets to the value of about $20, there's a heightened level of fear in the market. Nicely up today, about 1.95%, but still below the value of 20. The only index that's in the uptrend today or moving up is the Dow, up about 0.25%. GDX ran up too fast, says John. UFO was a good band. See, my whole idea is I want to give you ideas that nobody's talking about. That's why I'm trying to get more people in here, so that they can get insight on stuff that people are not talking about. All right, let's talk about my big news stories. These are the stocks that we just saw on the news. Apple, there's my gold stock. How many of you have ever heard of that? SGOL. Type a 1 in the room if you have. Type a 2 if you have not. Speaking of shippers, STNG is in a place where Dr. Paul would be buying. Let's go write that down too as well. STNG. 1 if you've heard of SGOL. 2 if you have not. And when you click on it, I want to show you something. Let's go look at the stock analysis report on it. It's an exchange-traded fund incorporated in the U.S. The trust issues ETFs, physical Swiss gold shares, to track the performance of the gold bullion spot price, less the expenses of the trust's operations. So I picked up some of this. I want you guys to keep, it's inexpensive. I went to look for an inexpensive play on gold, not the miners, but on gold, and this is one that I found. Less than $20 to play gold, folks, and it's optionable. Even if you don't want to put the full $19 in here. Glenn, you were the one who pointed out STNG at 50 before it broke out. Listen, that's my job. My job is to try to do things like that. I don't always, but when I do, thank you, John, for bringing it up to our attention of how awesome I am. And that's why we need more people in the room, all right? So thank you for that, John. S-Gold pushing 52-week high. And Gregory, that's fine. That's fine, especially knowing that if the dollar is going to get to a point of starting to get weaker, and as a matter of fact, let me type in the dollar. If the dollar is looking like it's trying to get weaker, gold may be a play for people to run to. And that's normally what happens. But there are times like today where gold is going up a little bit and the dollar's going up. That's not normally how it happens. But if we are getting to a point where the inflation fears really start to kick in and the dollar starts losing value, this may not be a bad way. And guess what? If we're hitting at the 52-week high, we will be getting into uncharted territory, which could just bolster this stock way even higher. Does that make sense, Gregory? Now, I will let you know this. If you're not comfortable getting into a stock at its 52-week high, then don't. But I'm going to argue that point, because every stock that hits a 52-week high is coming off of a previously 52-week high. And that just goes to show me that the stock is doing exactly what I want it to do, which is to go up in price. That's the way I look at it, Gregory. All right, that's the way I look at it. And if it's setting up for this to move up even higher, then it's going to go into that uncharted territory and hit even another 52-week high. FedEx, because of dividends, is up nice, 1.28%. The opening of new stores in India, I don't know how everybody's taking it, but it's down today. This company that got the government, sort of like an open check contract. This is like a blank check contract. Whew. Now, it was up a lot higher. I'm going to tell you that there's definitely going to be some profit taking. The stock closed yesterday. Let's go view the stock graph. The stock closed yesterday. Put this on a 1-month graph. Closed yesterday at a price. That's volume. Closed yesterday at a price of $2.72, and today went up as high as $4.40, as high as $6.98. Yeah, that's some profit taking. But I think that after the profit taking is done, I like the bump up above the 20-day exponential moving average. There's my profit taking. It is undervalued, even as a low dollar stock. It is undervalued. And I do have a level of support sitting at the low of 255. I can use that as a springboard, as Dr. David Paul does, and see if the stock's got some upside. I think the contract news is enough to push this stock's price higher, but people are saying, forget that. I'm taking my money off the table from being in from the prior day, so that's a different story. I do like that it's undervalued, though. Let's take a look at all of the stocks on a graph. View the stock graph. All right, here's my big news stories, 3.8. There's Apple. You can't not like Apple. That's a 3-month graph. Bottom left, top right, not a lot of volatility. It is overvalued. Earnings per share is moving higher, trailing down for 2 days in a row, just like the market. I am going to keep my eye on that. Now, Paris, if I do not have Canada Open, I can't see them. I can't see them. I keep that in mind. I don't have Canada Open. I'm only looking at the U.S. right now, so I may not, if I don't have Canada Open, I can't see them unless they are also traded on the U.S. market. So if you are in Apple, I'm going to tell you not to panic here. Use that 20-day exponential moving average as a level of support. There's my S-Gold. I do like this. Above the 20-day exponential moving average, and is just running higher. Even created a level of support, but still moving higher. And right now, hitting a new 3-month high. All right, let's go to the next one. FedEx, bottom left, top right. Do you think the dollar could be pushed out as the fiat currency globally? 57% of you said yes. Wow. All right, and if that's the case, what does that mean for us? Very interesting. If we do get pushed out as the fiat currency, what does that do? More than less our ego. What does that do to us economically? A lot of you think that yes, that is the case. All right. They're traded in the U.S. market too. All right. If that's the case, TD and BNS. TD and BNS. I'll take a look at them. I will take a look at them. The rest of the stories that are in, wow, the dollar is falling. That's a good sign for gold. The dollar's below the 20-day exponential moving average. So for any of those of you who are asking me, is it time to get into gold? As long as this UUP, which I'm tracking the dollar, is below the 20-day exponential moving average, it just means, it just should seem that people are going to be migrating to gold for safety. All right. Dan says more inflation. Listen, I don't know that we're going to get more inflation. I think we've already peaked as far as inflation is concerned. Did a video on that a while ago. I think inflation has peaked. We do know that when you raise the interest rates, it takes a time for it to show an effect on inflation. So inflation overall in bits and pieces is getting better, but it is in bits and pieces. Is it getting better at the rate that the Fed would like it to be? And the answer to that is no. He's very adamant about getting inflation down to 2%. And folks, in order to effectively do that, he's going to have to keep raising interest rates for a while. All right, TFC, I got you. Do you think the dollar will be pushed out as the fiat currency? 54% of you said yes, 45% of you said no. Only 91 votes. So that means a lot of you didn't vote. And that's fine. You don't want to be a part of the community, a part of the party. Sigh. It's okay. But 91 votes, 54% said yes. Very interesting. I'm really curious to see if that happens, how that affects us as an economy. Raises can be too fast. The market needs time to settle. Listen, as bad as inflation was, I don't think that there was a such thing as inflation being raising of the interest rates was too fast. I don't think so. That's all I'm going to say about that, Roger. I don't think so. I think inflation was a problem, still is a problem. They had plenty of opportunity to address the problem rather than calling it transitory. So it's a bigger problem than not, and I think that what was done because inflation was that big of a problem, Roger. All right, let's go look at the company Buru. Got the contract, big move, but again, a lot of profit taking here. Earnings per share, on the 3 month, they are making 38 cents per share, but they were making 39. So it dropped. That's a penny. No dividend. I'm curious to see if Buru with that contract can stay above the 20-day exponential moving average. That's what I'd be keeping my eye on if I'm going to try to buy it. And the Freight Tech FRGT, big move. Was that an earnings play? It wasn't an earnings play. It was just information about what they were doing. A lot of give back here. Look at that. A lot of give back here. So I don't know if it was newsworthy. Look at relative value, relative safety. Not so good. It's not fundamentally sound. And they did a split not too long ago, a 1-for-10 split on 324. So the news drove the stock, but definitely a lot of give back. I'd be careful with this one. MTRD. That's not Matador, but MTRD. All right, so those are the big news stocks that we had today. When I'm looking at the current market's conditions, I got to look at contras. So I've got 5 overall contras that I want you guys to keep your eyes on. SRTY, HIBS, SOX, SQQQ, of which I'm in, and FANG-D. Someone asked me about buying tech. Well, here's an ETF that looks at major tech stocks, all right? FNGD. That's the bearish ETF, and it's up today almost 7.5%. So would I buy tech stocks? The answer to your question is no, and this Contra ETF is answering that question for me. All right, so great question about whether I'd be buying tech stocks right now. The answer is no, and this one Contra ETF is definitely what I'm looking for. Asa says, thanks for SGOL. Absolutely, man. Again, I think a lot of people were in the same boat that I was in, trying to play gold in a cheap way. And that's how I found SGOL. I did some research. I found it. I'm looking at the graph. I think that, how many of you felt that it was worth it to come today just to find an ETF like SGOL? Type of 1 in the room. That might have been worth the whole opportunity to just stop by and take a look at afternoon market action. Finding something as inexpensive to play the gold space, folks. Man, that's all. And this is why I ask that you guys invite people. Other people out there can get access to what you're getting into to help them to make. I don't know who else does this kind of stuff for you on YouTube. All right, we strive hard for your business. Because you could be on any other YouTube channel right now, but you are choosing to be here. Evidently, we're doing something to keep you here. And I want to get other people that are like-minded like you that want an opportunity to truly learn about what's going on in the market. Sonny says, it was worth coming here today just to see your smiling face. Whenever I see your smiling face, I have to smile myself. Because I like you. Yes, I do. Yeah. Got my country hat on. I need my guitar. Isn't it amazing a man like me can feel this way? Yeah. All right. So that's my, I like that song. That's one of my favorite James Taylor songs, by the way. All right. That's one of my favorite James Taylor songs. I've done that at karaoke on more than one time. I do like that song. I can't believe I almost hit that high note. Phew. Man, can't believe I almost hit that high note. All right. So I think that Jerry says a James Taylor wannabe. Lifestyle coach says mine too. I like him. All right. So I think that conducive to what's going on in the market right now, we've got to talk about contras. All right. And again, here's 5 contras. I think these are nicely spread out. Tech stocks, they ain't that all spread out as much as I thought. High beta stocks in the Russell 2000. I got 3 of them looking specifically in the tech space. But, SOX S, look at that. Nice move today. Fang D, nice move today. All of my contras on the down day today are making money. Sonny says, more than one time? More than one time what? What are you talking about? What are you doing? What's the best bank stock to short that also has options? Let's go check that out real quick. Let's go to the industry viewer. Good question. I like to do some of this stuff on the fly. Let's go check that out real quick. Let's go to industry. Actually, let's go to sector view. Let's go to sectors. Let's go to sectors. You want to find a bank to short, right? Let's go sort this. I bet you it's all the way towards the bottom. Let's go sort by sector again. We'll see where the banking sector is. No, one more time. Let's do one more time. Now I want to show you, we track 41 sectors, right? Let's go see where the banking sector sits. It's number 35 out of 41. So you're on the right side and the right path of trying to find a bank stock to short because the sector is doing very poorly. All right, let's double click on the sector. It'll bring up the industries. All right, which industry is doing the worst? Let's sort which banking industry is doing the worst. Let's sort by RT. Oof. Look at multi-regional. Remember the regional banks is what went through but a worse RT is on Bank West Southwest. All right, let's right click. Let's view the stocks in that space. So this the worst banking industry by RT. Let's go sort this by RT. Here's the stocks. All right, in the stocks in the Bank West / Southwest. Okay, let's go look for the worst one. Let's go look at the worst one. There it is, First Republic. Look at that. That was already in the news. You want to short it? Look at that RT. Let's look at the RTs on all of these that are so low. All right, that are shortable. That's not shortable, not shortable, not shortable. That's shortable, 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 shortable. Let's take a look. You wanted to see what stocks were the best to sell short right now? Put these on a 3-month graph. Bada boom. First Republic. Didn't they get something happened? Didn't somebody buy them out? I don't remember. Do you remember? If they bought them out and the stock is underwater. Do you remember? I don't know. I'm looking at the sideways move. I'm not sure. During the Jockey Club this morning, Steve told us that he could hear you singing in the office. He says it is not an infrequent. I know. I just do. That's me. I got that energy. Folks, I bring a lot of energy for you guys. Every time I do a live stream, I bring a lot of energy. What else is here? Western Alliance, I need it to fall below that level of the low. Earnings per share is falling. Good candidates, though, here. Zion, look at these earnings per share on all of these. VBTX, look at this, right at its level of the 3-month low. I need to see if it falls below, folks. Wow, that's close. Great question about banking stocks to sell short. I don't know if they all have options, though. Not that. Let's go see which ones out of the ones I got. Every one that I highlighted has options. Who just asked me that question? All right. Who else asked me that question? There it is. Paris. Did I answer your question? And number one, if I answered your question number two, how simple was it for me to do that? Right? Like that on the fly. That was a great question. And I wanted to be able to show you the power of the software right then and there. All right, let's go back to my watch list viewer. Let's go back to my watch list viewer. And, you know, I think that covers what stocks are moving up, what contras to take a look at. I wanted to do one other thing. I've got the special presentation this week, and it's going to talk about this hit list. How many of you have created, since my video about creating a hit list, how many of you have created a hit list of stocks that you've just been looking at and you put them into this hit list? Type of 1 in the room. How many of you have started to build a hit list of stocks that you've just been hearing about and watching? Type of 1 in the room. If you haven't done that yet, type of 2. All right, so again, I'm going to talk in a lot more detail in the special presentation tomorrow because we're closed Friday. So the special presentation will come out tomorrow. With that, I'm going to do a much deeper dive into how to build this list, and I'm going to show you by looking at this list, you can tell what kind of investor in the market you are. You don't want to miss Thursday's video. You don't want to miss that special presentation, but that's only going to go out to people who are VectorVest subscribers. If you're not a VectorVest subscriber, you do remember that 99 cents gets you a 30-day trial to VectorVest. So every week as a VectorVest subscriber, you get access to what we call our weekly special presentation. And this week is going to be about building a hit list. And again, I can show you so many positive things that you can get out of looking at your own hit list of stocks. So one of the things that I do when I'm looking at trying to find candidates to buy, and a lot of these stocks I forget about. You know, they're in this list because they caught my attention, but sometimes I forget that they're even there. Sometimes I forget that they're even there. So what I do is when the market's going to open up in the morning, I sort this, and I can do this pre-market. Sorry, Joey. Pre-market, because I need the mouse in a second. All right. Pre-market, I open up this hit list. Do you still have the mouse?
I'm trying to.
Okay, go ahead. Joey's putting on stuff for the Facebook crowd. All right. He'll tell me when I got it. All right. I sort this list by percent price change. Pre-market. Sigh. What just happened? Joey broke my software. I think he did. Sort by percent price change. I don't know if he keeps taking the mouse. Or is it just me? Sigh. No. Then why is my column is changing? Sigh. Anyway, so what I do is I look at the percentage price change pre-market to see what stocks in my list are moving. Once I find that, that's a good start to the day. I look to see if we get confirmation in the direction that I'm looking at the market open. If we do, then a lot of these stocks that move up, move down, I can pinpoint when to get into them, especially if these are stocks that caught my attention. And all of these stocks that you see here are stocks that for some reason caught my attention. I built my list. I've got 92 stocks in here, and everybody's hit list is going to be different because it all depends on what stocks you're looking at. And I think that that's the most important part of it, is the stocks that have caught your attention. So the special presentation tomorrow will be about how to build it and how to use it from a functionality standpoint of knowing when to pinpoint when to get in, that kind of deal. How do you know when to start buying? Well, first thing, Joe, how do you know when to start buying? From market timing perspective. So let me ask you this question, Joe. If you're looking at the home page of the VectorVest software, all right, are you buying right now? Yes or no? All right, because that answers your question right off the bat. Are you starting to buy right now? Yes or no? Let me give you more. All right, let's go back to the graph. Are you starting to buy right now? Yes or no? All right, so when I can look at the movement of over 9,000 stocks and see what's going on day over day, that will answer my question about knowing when to start buying. Does that make sense, Joe? All right. Does that make sense? I'm not buying today. What would I be buying today? Most likely contra ETFs. That's why I made sure I had a little bit of a segment on the power of using contra ETFs. I've given you 5 really good ones to keep your eyes on. All right, Marty is right. Contras would be what I'd be looking for right now, but I'd be looking at this level of support. If we bounces back up, I'm taking those contras off. But if it continues to go down, those contras should do so good. Roger says, my bottom fishing list is down 40% over 30 days. All are solid companies just waiting for the reverse. And right now, I'm not in a bottom fishing scenario. My indicators are not there yet. I'm not in a bottom fishing scenario yet. Not yet. All right. So I wanted to spend a little bit of time on my hit list. Again, I'm going to talk a lot about it in tomorrow's video. Last thing I'm going to do before we go is to look at customer picks. All right. I got some of your picks, NVDA, CVX, META, Goodyear. GOOD, what's Goodyear? It's GT. All right, good. It's my initials, Glenn Tompkins. STNG, TD, Ameritrade, BNS, oh, that's a Canadian stock. TFC, MTRD. How many stocks? MTRD, I can't find. All right, I can't find. How many stocks did I get? I only want to look at about 10 stocks, though. All right, how many stocks did I get? 8. I'm looking for 2 more. TSM, Taiwan, and XERS. All right, there's my 10 stocks. Let's go take a look at them. After everything you gave me, I can tell which stock has the best combination of value, safety, and timing. Put to the top of the list, STNG shipping, followed by semiconductor, and then Meta. On the bottom, though, I've got GT with the worst combination of value, safety, and volume, followed by XERS and BNS, that Canadian stock you wanted me to look at. All right, it's at the 3 of the worst, whereas Sting, TSM, and Meta are 3 at the top. And in the middle, we have CVX, NVIDIA, Toronto Bank, right in the middle of the list. Where is it at? It's number 6. TFC, Truist Financial. I'd be careful with the banks, folks. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I'd be very careful with the banks. Another Bank of Nova Scotia, a pharmaceutical, and Goodyear Tire. All right. All of these are optionable as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 out of the 10 are undervalued, so that's good. TD is the most shorted bank in the world today. Well, it's towards the bottom half of the list. It is undervalued. Okay, it is undervalued. It's got a relative value at 1.4. Safety is not there. It's not moving up in price, and it is a sell recommendation, Albert. So I'm just talking to it and talking about it as I see it. Whereas Sting, on the other hand, relative value above 1, relative safety above 1, RT above 1. CI, it's the only stock with price growth persistence above 1. I like that. Glenn, Boston said she found the delivery of the cafe. Maybe she'll share. You didn't say I had. Oh, hell to the no. Those ain't for you. Those Mark didn't say they was for you. Those were for Glenn specifically. I will fight you, Boston. I love you to death. You know I do. But I will. That's Cafe Bustelo. Ooh wee. That's them some fighting words right there. Good. Googly muggly. I don't see your name on wait a minute. Mark, you didn't put my name on the box? Anyway, all right, so STNG is at the top of the list. You can see why. Taiwan Semi, undervalued, safe, good. RT tells me that it's flat. Meta, RV is not there, but it is a safe company that's making money. It's in an uptrend, and it's the only stock in the list that's a buy recommendation. We all know what's going on with oil. Again, good upside potential, not as safe, and it's in an uptrend though. NVIDIA, tech stock, way overvalued, not good upside. It is a company that makes money, and it is an RT above 1. I still think that for the time right now, if FNGD is moving up, then that means for the most part, the tech stocks are not the place to be. You're going to fight Boston? My money's on Boston. Whatever. That's all. And Roger says his money to whatever. Y'all don't. I'm not getting into this. I'm not falling deeper into this trap. Toronto Dominion, undervalued, good upside potential. Safety is not there, and it's not enough trend, and it is a sell recommended stock. Truist is undervalued, nice upside, not a safe stock, not in an uptrend, sell. BNS, slightly overvalued, upside is okay, safety not there, not in an uptrend. ZERS most likely would be news-driven, some FDA approval or something like that, way overvalued, as many farmers are. Fundamentally not sound. I believe this is probably news-driven. I don't even know, but I'm going to pull this up. It's probably news-driven. And let's scroll down. 2 hours. Enters research collaboration with Regeneron. That's a big company. To advance zero. Whatever. That's what's moving the stock. Would I want to own that stock? And actually, it's pulling back. Would I want to own that stock long term? No, it's not fundamentally sound. The RT tells me that it's news driven. Goodyear is undervalued, fundamentally not sound, not in an uptrend, and by way of VST, all the way at the bottom of the list. So I just analyzed all your stocks for you. All right. And whoever gave me whatever stock you gave me, the cool thing is looking to see where they sit in the list amongst all the stocks that were given. It gives you some insight on that stock as well. All right. I think I'm done. This was Western Wednesday. Yee-haw! Giddy on up. Yippee-ki-yay. Telegram for Mungo. Me Mungo. All right. All that stuff I can put together. Thank you guys for being here. I'm glad that if nothing else, we did help you out with a gold stock. Hopefully we gave you some ideas to keep your eyes on as well. Right now, what should you be doing? You should be tightening your stops. Right now is not the time to panic. Just keep on top of what's moving. This is more of a trader's market, more so than an investor's market. Take what the market gives you. You know what they say, shake what your mama gave you. I'm going to say, take what the market gives you. All right, take what the market gives you. That was shake what your mama gave you. Shake what your mama gave you. Take what the market gives you. That's what I want you to do. I want you to take what the market gives you. All right, thanks for being here, VV Nation. Absolutely. You know, I'm going to keep trying to build this up. I want us to, we put out really good information. There's no reason why we can't get 300 or more people in our live streams. All right. If you're new to the channel, if you haven't hit the subscribe button, hit the subscribe button. Looks like we got 66 likes. You know me, I always like to try to finish out with 100 likes. If we can, that's great. If you haven't hit the like button and it was worth it for you to stop by today, hit the like button. All right. With all of that being said, I gotta go. All right. We are closed Friday. Oh, on the VectorVest store, we are offering for Holy Week, we are offering a 25% discount. A 25% discount for this week on the store. My code only gives you a 20% discount. We are giving a 25% discount on the store. So I wanted to shout the store out. Want you guys to get some stuff in there. Get some stuff. All right, get some stuff. I gave away 3 hoodies last month on me. All right, so it was my birthday week, so I gave away 3 hoodies. All right, so I don't know when I'm gonna do that again. You never know. I might just do it, and Joey will be like, "Why did you do that?" Because I'd be like, "Cause I'm me." That's why. All right, with that, folks. I got a live stream again tomorrow at 2 p.m. We got Trending Thursday. Don't forget, for those VectorVest subscribers, the special presentation is going to talk about a hit list and how to build it and how to use it. And I think it's going to be very interesting to show you what type of investor you are as well. With that, folks, just loaded DWAC calls. Didn't Trump just leave DWAC? Marty says, thanks again for the hoodie. You're welcome, my friend. Didn't Trump just leave DWAC? Thank you, Glenn. Thank you, Joey, coming from John. All right. Adios, arrivederci, ciao, au revoir, sayonara, aloha to all my peeps in Hawaii. Bom dia, salam, shalom, namaste, yasu train. Until the next time, folks.